What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Halloween video on the Skull Crane Entertainment YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at the brand new for 2020 Home Depot lineup. So today is July 30th and everything has just dropped. And man, this is a really good lineup and not everything is even out yet. So for this video specifically, we're going to be looking at the Halloween animatronics section. That's mainly what my channel is about. But I'm sure some other haunters or even people on YouTube will be talking about the other items such as the props, lighting, fog machines, and much more. But we're going to be looking at the animatronics. Now, I won't be showcasing the demo videos, but I have watched them all. I'm sure some compilations will go up, and as soon as I find somebody that does a full compilation, I will link them below. But I'm just going to be going through one by one on each one and talk about what I think about them. And I will say before this video begins that the Home Depot's lineup is pretty solid this year. I will say it's not as solid as in years past. There's a couple of things in this lineup that I'm actually tempted to buy, but in years past, I've been like, oh, I want the whole lineup. This year, it's a lot of repeat animatronics and a lot of reskins. I know reskins are probably worse than a bad animatronic because it's just the same thing over and over again. But a lot of reskins, a lot of re-releases. We only have about maybe 24 new animatronics, and that includes the smaller stuff. We're going to go ahead and go one by one. So first we have the pirate ship. Now, this is last year's pirate ship, $349.99, or $349 rather, and this one is well worth it. I've heard only positive reviews, as you could tell. That's an excellent animatronic right there. You buy it for the detail. The animation's not that great, but for what you're getting, it's awesome. And they had it in stores, I want to say 2 years ago, and everyone loved it. And the same thing goes for the returning Headless Horseman. Man, I know this is going to sell out right away. There's a couple of animatronics in here that I know are going to be sold out probably today and will never return. So Headless Horseman's one of those. He's incredible. I've seen him in person. Wow, he's awesome, and the fog capabilities are great. One of the best Pan-Asian, I would actually say, go as far as say, probably the best Pan-Asian Creations prop ever made. And it's very well done, and I highly recommend it. Great reviews on it, $280, and before I keep going, Home Depot does not have coupons. Now, you can get tax exemption if you work for a corporation, but other than that, really, there's not much discounts you can find. Maybe a 10% off coupon if you're lucky, but really, you're not going to find coupons. So the price you see is the price you're going to pay, unlike, for example, Spirit Halloween, where coupons are always floating around. Next, we have the animated LED rocking chair skeleton with cat. No video for that one yet, but it's a reskin of the witch from a few years ago, although it does have the interactive cat. Now, whether or not the cat's wireless, I don't know, but I think it's actually kind of cool that they put it together like that. $149 is actually a pretty fair price, although it is not one of the better Pan-Asian props. The Howling Skeleton Wolf has been at Home Depot pretty much every year now. It's awesome. It's a great animatronic. The reviews show that, but it's just a returning prop, so nothing special about it, but I do recommend it to anyone who has not gotten it, because it is a great piece. Next, we have the returning Pirate Barrel Skeletons. $100 is a steal for these. The animation's only, I think, mouth movement, but, you know, for the price, definitely worth it. It looks like these are slightly different, but nonetheless, still a great animatronic. Highly recommended. Same with the Greyhound. Been at Home Depot every year for the past probably half decade, but highly recommended. Reviews show it's a great prop. So that one's great. Next, we have another dragon, and I'm shocked that they brought these back again. I thought dragons were done last year, but they're back. There's only one this year, it appears. I'm not sure if there's more, but this one's going to be $399. It is expensive, and they took out the fog machine. I like how they have to put in the title without fog machine because they used to include them, and I'm shocked they took them out. Really annoying that they took those out. I mean, I'm planning on displaying mine outside this year. Having it like staked to the ground. These things are heavy, by the way, so they won't blow away even with 1,000-mile-per-hour winds. Now, they probably would at that rate. But they're very well animated. The eyes light up, and they're cool. They're not insanely cool, but for the detail and just the grand appearance, they're awesome. I have the green one, by the way. I purchased that one last year, and the green one's awesome because it matches with the grass and the scene I'm trying to set. And the pirate, he's every year at Home Depot. He's a different color. Last year he was royal. Now he's black. I almost like the royal better, but they did change the animation a little bit because now his head bobbles. They did this little thing where every time the head goes down, it hits a pole, and the pole shakes the head. It's not very noticeable. It's pretty subtle, but it's actually pretty cool, and the reviews show that it's a good prop. For 80 bucks, if you're doing a pirate theme, 100% go with that. Get the other LED pirate skeleton set of 2 as well. Next, we have a new skeleton pony. Now, I don't like this at all, actually. I don't know what they were thinking here. It's a skeleton, but it has like a tail attached, and it's not a skeletal tail. It's just this is a bad prop. $100 seems, even though the review says it's a good prop, I think that's overpriced for what it is. You can get the other skeleton ponies from other retailers for much less, although they're a little bit smaller. Not a huge fan of the LED skeleton pony, but if it's up your alley, then go for it. Next is the classic monsters set. Now, these are going to sell out today, probably. Last year, they sold out on the first day, and they were never to be seen again. Now, last year's were a little different. I think last year's were a little better because they changed the vampire. The wolf and the Frankenstein are different, but they're not that dramatically different. But the vampire last year actually looked like Dracula, and this year it has the same exact appearance as the CVS vampire skeleton from, I want to say, 2015. I do have that on my channel. You can check it out, but it's the same exact thing. They all move from side to side, and the mouth moves now on the skeleton. It's an added animation, but I don't think I like it as much as I do the vampire. But nonetheless, this is going to sell out instantly, so get that one while you can. Next is we're going to look at these together, the dog and the cat. These are at the Home Depot every year. I highly recommend them if you're doing a boneyard theme. They're great. They're very cool. Although I will say, if you're doing a boneyard theme, I did do it, and it's sort of a pain to set it up. I stopped doing it because you have to turn the switch on each one. Unfortunately, there's no adapter capabilities, because what I like to do is plug in all my animatronics, and then every time I turn on the power outlet, everything just comes on at once. I don't need to deal with actually going on each one and turning the switch to the right side. But these, you're going to have to turn them on with the sensor, unless you're using the included button. But it's a good price for those, nonetheless. Next, we have a Harmonica Skeleton, a reskin. We've seen these every year. Kmart carried these. 40 bucks, though, is not terrible. I mean, that's not a bad price. Jumping Spider, I'm not sure what Home Depot is trying to do here. You can get one at Spirit. I mean, it's hard. I find it funny that I'm saying that, because it's very rare for me to say that, but this is something that you could buy at Spirit Halloween for much less. In fact, $50, and with a coupon, $40. So don't buy the Jumping Spider unless there's something different about it, but I don't see that. I think this is sort of strange for Home Depot to charge more than Spirit, but in this case they are. Next, we have the Banjo playing skeleton, another reskin, 40 bucks though. It's not bad if you are a fan of the skeleton band players and perhaps have a collection going. Next is the Fox chainsaw. That one's actually really cool. I did own that one at one point, and it gets the job done. It's pretty cool, and for 40 bucks, not a bad price. So I do recommend that one. That one has been at Home Depot every year as well. So yeah, next we have the officially licensed Sally animatronic that Spirit Halloween carried in 2018, and that was it. This is the improved model with the improved eye clicking sound error or defect from the manufacturer. If you remember in 2018 how all the store demonstration videos had her clicking as she moved. But this one is $200, much less than Spirit Halloween's price, and it's got decent reviews. Still, it's not very well animated. The animation's pretty lackluster, but for 200 bucks, if you have the Jack, I recommend Sally. She's fine, and that price is much better than Spirit Halloween's. Next, we have the Gatekeeper. This is very similar to the one at Spirit Halloween for this year, although I think Spirit's is actually, a little better. I'm not sure why. I think that Spirit Halloween's kind of captures the look a little better. It's the same price at Spirit Halloween, but it's still a cool animatronic nonetheless, and I do recommend the Gatekeeper. If perhaps you do like the skull face and you like the full body turn compared to the arm movement at the Home Depot, or at Spirit Halloween rather, but I do think Spirit Halloween's captures the look a little better. But it's all preference. Next, we have the Swinging Ghost with LED illumination. I don't think anything of this. This is, I think, overpriced in my opinion, and nothing special about her. Animated Zombie Girl has returned every year. She's 50 bucks. I don't think she's worth 50. She should be 40 like the rest. I don't see anything special about her to make her worth 50. I really don't. Next, we have the steering wheel, pirate wheel. Buy this on its own, and this one was sold. I think it was sold in 2018 and didn't return for 2019, and many people were Unfortunately, very saddened by that, but it's back, and I think it's very cool. For $100, it's not a bad price. Next, we have this this animated Jekyll and Hyde pumpkin. It's cool. $44 is a little expensive for a 9.5-inch item, so I think that's pretty overpriced, but I don't think it's part of the lineup. I think it's kind of one of those like independent sellers that doesn't sell to the stores. It's online only, I'm pretty sure. But next we have the Standing Devil in red. It has one review, and from what I've heard, the sound is quiet and the mouth clicks very loud. I've watched the video they've attached, and it is a pretty loud click, but it's nothing too bad. You could always put like some pads in the mouth to silence it, because some people do like the clicking of the mouth. It turns from side to side, and the head turns as well as the mouth movement, and it looks cool. It's not as cool as I was hoping it would be, but $130 is not a bad price for it. This Halloween singing skeleton has been there every year, and I've heard it's terrible, so you can ignore that one. Don't get it. It's bad. For $80 too. That's not part of the lineup this year, though. Next, we have some more random animatronics here, so some clowns. They're not worth the price, but nonetheless, still cool that they have them here for the clown fans. Next, we have the Gravedigger, and this is probably one of the better ones this year. I saw the video of him, and people love him. He's got solid 5 stars. Now, the only complaints I've heard is that the animation is a little wild. It kind of jumps up and down, like with this weird movement that we really haven't seen before. It's cool. I actually do like this a lot. Although the mask is not the best, it doesn't stick to the mouth plate really well, so it kind of flaps around a little bit. But I do like this one. I actually really like it. I think it can go as far as say it's probably my favorite at the Home Depot this year. My second favorite, actually. There's one more that I'm seeing that I do like. Next is the Howling Werewolf with light up eyes. This one is a repeat. Every year they sell this same kind of wolf going up and down. And the one that I have on my web store, skullcrane.com, I think is the best version of the wolf. Simply because I think this movement with the head and the arms doesn't really get the job done. The one I have on the Skullcrane Animatronics web store is a lunging version, which I think is much better. But it's all preference, and I do like it, but I think this is probably one of the worst iterations of the wolf. I don't like the outfit. I think this specific design, like we saw last year with the white one, I don't think it gets the job done like the original from 2017 did. That mask from 2017 is perfection, and the one that I have for 2020, the lunging version, is also perfection. Next, we have the animated LED Wicked Cauldron Witches, and that's a good price for them. They've had these every year, although it appears to me that the Cauldron looks a little different. But $180 is a great price for those, although they are returning. I do recommend them, however. Next is the animated LED Jack-in-the-Box, and even though it has great reviews, I didn't like this really at all. It has this mouth movement, and it turns from side to side, and it's cool, but it's not worth $200. Many people thought it would be $150, but at $200 is not worth it for this. This is not a good. It's 6 feet tall, it says, which is really big for a Jack-in-the-Box, but I think the Fright in the Box from Spirit Halloween for an extra $10 is actually worth it a little more, just for the animation and all of the other details. I don't think this guy gets the job done, and the Jack-in-the-Box logo and just the overall appearance is not very good in my opinion, but it goes from person to person. Next is the Standing Knight with Sword. This is a reskin. We've seen this in years past, although this is the best version of it. And $130 is not bad, but I don't think this guy is special. But I do think he's the best version of the knight, if you do like it. This is the animated LED cemetery statue, and this is my favorite of the year. Surprisingly, it's a Pan-Asian prop, but for $150, that's a good price for this character. Now, it only has mouth movement and light up eyes, and it has the hourglass, but I do think it's very, very cool, and it's unique. We've never seen something like this before outside of the 2014 similar cemetery statue that we saw. And I think that one's cool, but I actually like this one a little more. It's much bigger. I think it actually gets the statue look done. But both are great options. If you have the 2014 one from Spirit Halloween, that's a woman, or this one, which is clearly a man, I do like it a lot, and it has great reviews already. That's the one I would most likely get this year. Next, we have the Floating Grim Reapers. Now, this one's been talked about a lot, and it's pretty cool. Although people were worried that the pole was going to stick out, and the pole does stick out. You can see the poles sticking out. And the tombstones are there to kind of hide them, and people do like them. I actually think these are really good because in the dark, this is going to look amazing. Nonetheless, it's going to look amazing. I do really like them. I don't think they're something up my alley, but I think they're very cool and unique. And for $200, that's pretty much a really good price. I know I usually don't like to say that like multiple animatronics in one is a thing because I believe even if there's 10 people in one animatronic, it's one animatronic, but this genuinely feels like 3 animatronics in one. $200, good price. Next is this animated hearse skeleton. This is very cool, actually very, very cool, although I don't see it being worth $350, but the hearse is very well detailed, and if you put something inside there, perhaps even the rising skeleton from Big Lots this year, which I really like, I don't see this being too hot of a seller, but I could be completely wrong because some hearses from Home Depot have been really hot sellers, and it does have great reviews already rolling in. Next is the 6-foot animated LED Reaper with lantern, and this guy is very cool. For $100, he's very well detailed, although the animation's a little just not the best. For $100, that's a good price. I'm sure that's why he's got the 4-star review. $100, great price. Next is the animated standing Butler. It's just a basic Butler, although it's one of the better Butlers we've seen. It's Pan-Asian. It's got that weird stature with the legs kind of kicked out to the sides. But for $130, not terrible. Although I think $100 might have been a little better for him. But then again, it all varies from person to person and what they're willing to pay. And with the candelabra included, it is worth the $130 price. Next is the Winged Demon. And a lot of people have been raving about this guy. Although, in my opinion, I don't think he's anything really special. He features the wings flapping and then his mouth moves and his head turns. I don't think he's special, although $230 is not a bad price for this guy. It really isn't. Next is the 16-inch animated Book Witch. This one is, I don't think it's worth $200. It says 16 inches, so I'm not sure if I'm missing something there. I thought it was bigger. But it's cool, but not $200 cool in my opinion. Still a nice prop, but I hope they fix that price or something. Next is the animated Big Top Clown, and this guy is cool. I think he's unique, but although he does look exactly like the twitching clown from Seasonal Visions, but still a cool prop, and $180 really isn't that bad. The life-size animated old-time clown is a very unique clown. We haven't really seen a fat clown like that, and I think these clowns are actually sort of better than the Spirit Halloween clowns for this year. $200 is not a bad price, and I think he's cool, and he has that same lollipop as Mr. Happy and the other one that I'm not thinking of with the cage, but nonetheless, both are really cool, and I do like them for this year. Also, I think Uncle Charlie 2020 has that same lollipop as well. Next is the Bone Witch. She's okay. I don't like her stature that much. I think the Towering Macabre Witch from 2019 is a little better. I think it gets the job done a little better with that mold specifically. But $180, if it's up your alley, go for it. Not the best bang for your buck at $180, but I still like her. 3-foot animated LED doll, nothing special. Has the same sculpt as the ones from Big Lots. So if you're going for this sort of doll scene, it's cool. $40 is pretty cool for that. And then same with the wolf. It's $40. That's the standard price for the 3-foot animatronics from Home Depot, and it's worth $40 if you like it. Next is the animated LED alien, and this one's a letdown. I was expecting, at first they had a typo and they said it would dance, and we kind of thought it would be a unique movement. But this alien is $100, and for $100, it is worth it. It is worth it. However, I would have loved to have seen a little better animation and detail for an extra $50. But $100, it only turns its head and the arms slightly move. It's very unnoticeable. Basically, you're paying $100 for the detail and then the head turn and the lights and sounds. It's worth $100, but it's not the greatest alien prop ever. Next, we have the smaller version, which I think is actually a little better. It's the $40 3-foot animated dancing alien, and this one actually dances, and the movement's pretty funny. It's silly. It's not. If you're gonna buy an alien, don't buy this one, but it's cool. If you're doing a porch display, $40, can't go wrong there. Next is the 6-foot animated LED flaming scarecrow, and for $100, it's a great price. Although it does appear to be an indoor only, you could sneak it outside and probably get away with it. Maybe you have to remove the circuits, but I think this is an awesome piece for 6-foot animatronic for $100. Go for it if that's up your alley. Next is the 3-foot animated LED Victorian Reaper, and this one's already selling very well. I've seen a ton of people on Halloween forums say they bought it. It's a much smaller and much cheaper version than the version at Spirit Halloween, which is 7 feet tall, but this one is 3 feet, $40. And if you wanted a Plague Doctor, this is the one you want to get. Only the arms move, the head does not move, unlike some of the other 3-foot animatronics, but for $40, go for it. It's pretty cool. Next we have Pennywise, and these are the ones that are not in stock, by the way. Hopefully they sell them for this year. Pennywise, we've seen him every year. $200 is not a bad price for Jemmy Pennywise, although you can probably find him for cheaper on sites like Walmart. I've seen him for a little less. Next is Freddy Krueger, also $200. Not a bad price, but it's nowhere near as good as the original. Skeleton Pony. This is a very cool one. I like this much better than the unicorn version that they were selling. It's not in stock yet, but for $100, it's a well worth the price. Very detailed. Next is Jack Skellington, the counterpart to Sally, and $200 is a little over what it sells for at Menards, although you do have to pay shipping at Menards. So $200 for Jack Skellington, not a bad price. Next is this random Sunstar prop. Nothing special about that. Same with this one. Same with that one. Same with the swinging one. Same with the other swinging one. Same with the other swinging one. The fortune teller is kind of cool though. The groundbreaking witch, nothing special. Standing pumpkin, nothing special. Standing scarecrow, nothing special. Standing bride, nothing special. But the last one is the Jester Prop. And I'm hoping they sell this one for this year because it's very cool. Although $235 is a little expensive for a towering prop. But nonetheless, it is very cool because of the detail and the uniqueness. So I hope that they do carry it this year. But with that being said, that's about it for the Home Depot lineup in terms of animatronics. Now they have thousands of items. I checked. They have over 1,000 items this year. And the lineup looks very good. But you're going to have to let me know what you guys think of the Home Depot lineup. Comment your favorite animatronic of the year at Home Depot so far that you've seen before seeing them in person in the stores when they have them out, likely the first week of September. And as always, happy haunting.